Hey everyone, here is the answers to your homework so you can get those things checked or any questions that you needed answered. For number 1 and number 2, we're going to line up the decimal. So 34.672 plus 15.31. I can put in the filler 0 if I want to. 2 plus 0 is 2, 7 plus 1 is 8, 6 plus 3 is 9, 4 plus 5 is 9, 3 plus 1 is 4, so 49.982. For number 2, 152.875 plus 35.4. Again, I can add those filler zeros if I want to, as long as I understand that I'm not adding anything to those first two digits. So 5, 7, 8 plus 4 is 12, and I'm going to carry the 1. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is 8. 5 plus 3 is 8, and then 1 plus 0 is 1, so 188.275. Number 3 is subtraction, so 139.65 minus 59.623. Because the top one has less digits, I'm going to add that filler 0 for subtraction for sure. Here I'm going to borrow from the 5, so 10 minus 3 is 7, 4 minus 2 is 2, 6 minus 6 is 0, 9 minus 9 is 0. And 13 minus 5 is 8. For number 4, again, subtraction. So 352.37 minus 231.975. Again, we need that filler 0 to be able to subtract. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is borrow. I'm going to borrow from the 7. Take my pen color back. So 10 minus 5 is 5. I have to borrow from the 3. 16 minus 7 is 9. I have to borrow from the 2. 12 minus 9 is 3. There's my decimal. 1 minus 1 is 0, 5 minus 3 is 2, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So 120.395. Number 5 is our multiplication. Remember that it doesn't matter what order you multiply in, so I put the one with more digits on top. I just like how it looks better. So 1.24. You do not have to line up the decimals for multiplication. I'm actually going to move this over to the side over here. 0.025 times 1.24. 4 times 5 is 20, carry the 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10, carry the 1. 4 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1, and then 4 times 0 is 0. Then I have to put in my placeholder 0. So now I can start multiplying. 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 now is 5. 2 times 0 is 0, and 2 times 0 is 0. To go to my next row, I have to put in 2 placeholder zeros to move over those place values. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 2 is 2, and then I've got the zeros, 1 times 0, 1 times 0. So now I'm going to add 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0 plus 0 plus 0 again. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11, carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 0 and 0. Now I'm going to count the decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my answer, I don't have to include the extra zeros at the end. My answer is going to be 0.031. Number 6, we're multiplying again, so I'm going to do it over here. 17.15 times 1.062. So 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. I have to move over a place value. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. 6 times 7 is 42. Carry the 4. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. Next row, I'm going to do 2 place values over, and then this one is your 0. So I've got 0, 0, 0, 0. You can actually skip that row as long as you remember that your next row after that has to have 3 of those placeholder zeros. So if you didn't include this row of zeros here, you just have to remember that there's 3 place values that you have to move over in the next row. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 7 is 7. And 1 times 1 is 1. So now I'm going to add. 0 straight down is 0. 3 plus all the zeros is 3. 4 plus 9 is 13. Carry the 1. 5 plus 2 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. 7 plus 1 is 8. And then I've got 1. This one has 5 decimal places again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it should be 18.2133. Next, I've got my division. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the second number is a whole number. So I'm going to move this decimal 3 times, 1, 2, 3, to make this a 16. So I'm going to move the other one also 3 times to make this 32,674. So I'm going to bring my long division over here into 32,674. Leave enough room in case there's a decimal. 16 goes into 32 2 times. When I subtract, I get 0, so I'm going to bring down the 6. 16 does not go into 6, so I'm going to put a 0 and bring down the 7. 16 goes into 67 4 times because 16 times 4 is 64. 67 minus 64 is 3. I bring down the 4. 16 goes into 34 twice, so 32. Now I'm going to add in my decimal. So here's my 0. I'm going to bring it down. 16 into 20 is going to go into 1 time. 20 minus 16 is 4. I'm going to bring down another 0. 16 goes into 40 twice, so 32. 40 minus 32 is 8. I'm going to bring down one more 0. 16 times 5 is 80. And that gets me my happy face at the end. So these two numbers divided is 2,042.125. Next one over here, I'm going to move the decimal place twice to make it 25, so I'm going to move it twice to make it 382.5 divided by 25. So I've got 25 on the outside and 382.5 on the inside. 25 goes into 38 one time. 38 minus 25 is 13, and I'm going to bring down the 2. 25 goes into 132 5 times, so that's 125. So I subtract. 12 minus 5 is 7. I'm going to keep my decimal because it's already there, and I'm going to bring down the 5. And 25 goes into 75 3 times. And 75 minus 75 is 0. So my answer here is 15.3. So that's all those answers. Now I'm going to go on to the back side here. So page 154 is where the apply problem is. So this says the table shows the cost per pound of food items that you can buy in bulk at a grocery store. Mrs. Linden bought 1.25 pounds of dried fruit and 0.5 pounds of cereal. If Mrs. Linden paid for her items with a $5 bill, how much change will she receive? So the first thing we need to figure out is the cost for the 1.25 pounds of dried fruit and the cost of the half pound of cereal. So the dried fruit is $1.84. The cereal is $2.38 per pound. So I'm going to start with 1.84 times 1.25, and then 2.38 times 0.5. So 5 times 4 is 20, carry the 2. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 is 42, carry the 4. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. We're going to carry a 1 this time. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 8 is 8. And 1 times 1 is 1. So 0. 2 plus 8 is 10. Carry the 1. 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 9 is 19. Plus 1 is 20. Carry the 2. 8 plus 3 is 11. Plus 2 is 13. Carry the 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. I'm going to put in all my decimal places. There are 4 decimal places here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes this 2.3. So $2.30. Over here, 5 times 8 is 40, carry the 4. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19, carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. And I've got 3 decimal places, so 1, 2, 3. So now I'm going to do 2.3 plus 0.1190. Nope. That's wrong. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 3 is 15, 19. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 3 decimal places is 1, 2, 3. So it should be 1.19. So now I'm going to do 2.30 plus 1.19. 9 plus 0 is 9. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So the total cost of the items that he bought is $3.49. If he paid with a $5 bill, so that's going to be 500 minus $3.49. I'm going to borrow, so this becomes a 9, so this becomes a 10. 10 minus 9 is 1, 9 minus 4 is 5, and 4 minus 3 is $1.51. Okay, hopefully this answers all of your homework questions. If not, please let me know.